Greetings, starseeds and inhabitants of planet Earth. My name is Sasha and I operate the Joyful Aishan's Portal. The Joyful Aishan's Portal is a gateway for you to access your highest self and manifest your deepest desires. Like this video if you like videos like this, and subscribe to my channel already if you haven't. Thank you so much if you're already a subscriber. I am so grateful for you being here with us now on our journey together. Share this video also if it pleases you. You can find me on my website at joyfulaishansportal.space, and I can help you manifest your deepest desires by removing limiting beliefs through neurolinguistic programming and help you manifest your desires faster. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram at Joyful Aishan's Portal for more free resources. In today's video, I want to discuss, share, talk about more on when does targeting happen? When does it begin, really? When do we begin to realize that something is different in our lives and it feels like we're being targeted? And I've been thinking about this for a while in this process of sharing about targeting, what it is, how to change it, how to end the cycle, and what it can be related to. So I started to think about, when did I feel that targeting began in my life? And I think that for a lot of us, it goes way back. And so for me, it did begin in childhood. And I came up with this idea. I had this perspective that came to me, which was that a lot of targeting stems from events from younger days, and you could call them traumatic experiences or life-changing experiences. How about that? So I think, or I perceive, I understand that for some, targeting begins at a younger age when life-changing experiences happen. And so in my case, a life-changing experience occurred which resulted in a deep emotional wounding. And when you get this emotional wounding, you get this sort of split in your aura. You get a crack in your aura where the light comes through, like that Rumi poem. The cracks in your, where the light in you shines out. And so that is when my beacon began broadcasting my energy out into the world to say this person could be vulnerable and susceptible to targeting. And that sort of began my journey towards activating my intuition and deepening it, because I was very intuitive as a child, and I always felt not necessarily different, meaning separate from my peers, my friends growing up, but I felt different in that I felt that I saw the world differently. And in many times, in many ways I did. I had some friends who were kindred spirits, and we would have like magical experiences, but a lot of times I was by myself in nature, and I would witness the magic of the universe. I would watch plants and animals talk to me and things like that. And even in the past, my mom has told me that when I was a child, like, animals would just come to me. They would just come to visit and be on me. Like, they were drawn to me. And I would bring a lot of things inside that I wasn't supposed to. I was one of those kids, I always remember one time, story time, that I saw a field mouse, and I was like, oh, this will be my pet. And I just like held my hands, and it came on my hands, and I brought it inside, and I said, can I have this? But my mom said, no, that mouse goes outside. So back outside it went. Super cute. But anyway, when does it begin? It begins for many at a young age, or at a point in your life where a life-changing experience occurs that results in what some could call a separation from self, some could call an emotional shift, an emotional split, when we begin these journeys back to ourself, back to the realization of the wholeness. That is when we begin being targeted because others see that there's this change going on and that our aura may be different, our energy may be different, our perception is different. And so it's not a bad thing that people see you and are attracted to you. In many instances, darker energy is drawn to the light. And so it's not that people are deliberately choosing to prey on you or act malevolently towards you. A lot of times those people are controlled by other energetic entities. They have energetic attachments that they are unaware of. And so these energies that want to feed off of you are drawn to you. And the person who is acting on behalf of these entities is unaware of what is really going on. And you may perceive that yourself. I have many instances where I have looked people in the eyes and seen that the physical body in front of me is not the same as the energy that I'm perceiving through their eyes or their aura. I've seen different color auras and I've, managed that. So when targeting begins is a point that is sort of beyond our control. And it's not a negative thing that it's something that we can't control. A lot of things in life are things that we can't control. And part of changing the dynamic of targeting is embracing the fact that we can't control everything. And that's okay. Out of chaos comes order. And so once you surrender to the abilities to only control a limited amount of experiences and understand that what is infinitely capable in you is your control over your responses, your emotions, your thoughts, your words, your actions, that is how you can begin to change the timeline of targeting and reframe it. And so that's one of the things that I did. And I think I'll make a separate video on how to stop targeting. And it is to reframe those past or previous or life-changing experiences that begin the targeting. And so in my experience, one way that I reframed my initial experiences that resulted in targeting was to say, this person did not know what they were doing, and also this is helping me become stronger, better, trust my gut more, listen to my intuition, allow myself to be more empathic and intuitive, and really channel my skills, hone my skills, and learn how to master myself. And in mastering myself, I regain my power, I reclaim my sovereignty, and I'm able to change the timelines so that it's basically like if we're to go with linear time, the event occurs over here and we experience the emotional shift, the rift in our psyche. And when we get to a place where we can reframe it, we go back and we change it. And so there's no longer a ripple there. There's no longer a crack in the timeline where people are drawn to, because a lot of times what we experience as targeting, as triggers, is really connected to those previous instances. And what people are drawn to is the energy from the past. And so if we change the energy from the past, it no longer exists in that form. And they are rebuffed and it bounces off and they can't come back. It's like if you've got, because where I live, the weather is warming up. And so ants are starting to crawl around and look for food sources. And so ants follow this trail. And because they're 2D creatures, they just follow the trail and they follow it back. They follow the trail, they follow it back. And all the ant colony follows the trail and follows it back. So if you alter the area which they were familiar with, they go back further. And if you keep changing it, they can't find what they once found, and they'll find a different way to go. They'll find a different source. So you change your timeline, you change your energy from the past, if you want to use linear timelines, and those energetic beings that are drawn to you, drawn to the past you, can no longer target you because that past you no longer exists. It already no longer exists, but you have to accept that. You have to embrace that. And you have to be willing to acknowledge that the world is not out to get you. It's not this victim mentality of right and wrong and good and bad and them versus us. If you want it to be that way, so it is. As you speak, so it is. So if you feel targeted, ask yourself, why would they be targeting me? And what in me requires change? What in my emotional psyche requires change? I'm not telling you that they're attracted to you because you did something wrong. They're attracted to you because they're drawn to something familiar. So what in you is familiar to them? Everyone is you pushed out. Everyone is a reflection of you. So what in you is them? Whether it's a past you or a now you or a future now you. And if it's a past you, integrate that so that it becomes a now you and they're no longer drawn to the past you. So I'll get more into how to stop targeting, but I wanted to just discuss when it begins and what that signifies for us on our journey, because now is the time to integrate all aspects of ourselves so that we can truly embody this 5D energy of universal love, peace, harmony, bliss, third eye consciousness, Aishans. Peace and gratitude.